Trying to be a soft life babe or soft babe in general when you work in the corporate world can feel like an extreme sport, because the corporate world is so demanding, right? It's so fast paced, it's metric based. Like your performance and how successful you are is all based on these numbers and outputs and sales and code and all these things. And it can make unwinding when you're not there and just relaxing into a soft version of yourself challenging, which is what I want to talk about today. Like, how do you incorporate that softness or maintain your softness and those things that come with that in terms of the activities you're doing, in terms of your space, while still getting to the money, because somebody's got to pay these bills. There was one tip in here that I wasn't sure if I was going to include because did it really go with the whole soft life thing, but it's something that I have to because I think it will make such a big impact in your life and I don't hear many people talking about it in this space. So let's get into it. The first thing on this list is hobbies and activities that lean into your creative soul, right? This is especially true if you feel like your job at work, your corporate job, does not allow you to tap into that, right? Maybe you're not even in marketing or whatever. And so you're not doing anything outside to feed into that side of you that will allow you to, like, again, soften up, just relax and engage in a creative activity. The interesting thing is I don't think softness is just about the way we act or the things we're doing, but our ability to be present, right? I think if you're thinking of a hard life or one where you are constantly on the go, it's usually because you're projecting into the future, right? You're thinking about the future, what I've got to do next, where I've got to go next. If you're thinking about the antithesis of that, it would be a slower pace, one that you're involved and right there, which is why creative activities are so great. For example, when I started painting, I noticed and recognized what people meant when they're like, your mind cannot wander. Like, you are there with the painting. And so that's where your focus is. You're present with every brush stroke, thinking about the colors and all this sort of stuff. But it's not just, a case of painting. Like, perhaps you're somebody who's more of a writer or content creation, whatever it is, it requires you to be there in the moment in order to really get the most out of it and engage with your creative energy. And I will keep going on about this because hobbies don't get enough energy, despite how beneficial they can be to both you as a whole being, even you in like a commercial sense if you'd like, but mainly just you in terms of your fulfillment and sharing with the world. And it's cool because I'm reading this book called The Artist's Way, and I've spoken about it before, but one of the things she quotes, one of the quotes is about many of us know or sense that we are creative, but we just don't know how to step into it. Right, and so it's really about taking like the smallest step possible towards it, which is why I want to do like a small giveaway effectively in this video, where I'll be giving like a gift card for you to get started with whatever pursuit you want, but I'll leave more information about that at the end. So the next thing is actually about cultivating a softer environment by how you organize your space. And the thing about human beings is we're really adaptive. Like, we are able to mold to our environments very, very well. And it's the reason why we've been able to, evolve and basically still be here as a species as opposed to being wiped out, is because you put us in a room, you put us in an environment, and we'll find a way to survive that, which is good in one sense, great. Like, it's great to still be here. But in another sense, it can be counterintuitive if that environment is harsh, it is rough. Because by nature, we have to find a way to survive this thing, which is why if the corporate world is one way, you want to then be using your space at home, whether it's your room, whether it's the whole flat you have, the whole house you have, right, in order to cultivate a softer space there for you then. One where you will use things like lighting, in order to help with your mood and the way that you feel. The really interesting thing is that, like, overhead lighting can be very harsh. It can be very cold, almost clinical, which is why we get that good feeling when we see candlelight. The flicker of warm candlelight can make such a big difference. I mean, then you add the impact of the smell and how that changes your room. But this is a small step that you can take, right? A small thing that you can do to ensure that the environment that you are in outside of the corporate world is aligned with that softness that you are trying to lean into. Because I don't think you're trying to achieve softness. Even that statement sounds more like harsh and go get achieving softness. We're just trying to lean into it, because it's not like it's escaped us. It's not like it's not within us. We're just struggling to tap into it. So I actually now want to talk about creating more time. And this is the thing that I wasn't sure I was going to include, but I'm going to do it anyway. And it's about using technology to free up your time. I am working in the tech space. I'm an engineer, and I've had quite a bit of an opportunity to play with generative AI. In fact, you don't have to be in tech to do so. You might have used ChatGPT. But there are so many ways that you can use technology to get more of your time back, right? Whether it's actually using it at work if you're authorized to get more time back and allow the day to maybe not be so intensive, or you can like manual tasks that you spend time in Excel or all these things doing, you can hand that over to generative AI. But also within your own stuff. So perhaps it's meal planning, right? And you use generative AI to come up with a meal plan for the next 2 weeks. That can be very, very useful. There are even tools now that integrate with carts so that the shopping can be done if that's what you want to do. But also things like your work. So if you do content creation and you're wanting to free up more time and you want to help with idea generation, you can use these tools in that way too. So there's so many ways that you can use technology to, from the ideation, from planning, all the way to execution, and stuff like that, and automation, so that you have more time to do those other things, to do those softer activities, or those more creative activities, I should say, those ones that allow you to connect with yourself in a way that you can't in your corporate world. But then I think it's not just about the space that you have at home. I think it's then about taking yourself out. And again, drawing back on the book, The Artist's Way, one thing that it is mandatory to do, and you're going through this, is artist dates. And again, you don't have to be an artist in order to make use of this, but it's the idea about taking yourself out and doing things that allow you to connect with the side of you that, again, has to maybe be not hidden, but, you know, maybe she doesn't show up as much in the corporate world, right? Maybe she's not part of your corporate girly package. But like, it's things like going to museums, and they don't have to be costly. Going to the museums or going for a walk outside, whether you live by a beach, whether you live by a park. Perhaps you don't, but you know, as the sun's setting, you take a walk. Or going to a cafe. Like, actually, instead of having coffee at home on the weekend, perhaps you take yourself to a very, what's those words called? Those coffee shops. So, you know, I'm not talking about Starbucks, although you could go to Starbucks. Those ones are a little bit different. There's a little bit more going on there. And just doing things like that, because they, again, allow you to relax into yourself, explore parts of yourself that you don't usually, and allow yourself to remember that, you know, I'm not just a cog in the machine. Like, I'm not just somebody there to just pump out more outputs for the corporations. Okay, so as an extension of the artist date, then I think it can be very nice to go away and do getaways. And sometimes these spaces just allow you to, again, you know, don't worry about the cleaning, about the cooking necessarily, unless you are staying in like a homestay or something like that, and just enjoy another environment. It also can be, that's rude. It can also be nice just to enjoy the decor of another space. Like, this is a very deep space that I'm in terms of the colors are rich, they're deep. They're not that, like, you know, the cream, you know, what's it called? The beige effect of everything, which can be very nice. And don't get me wrong, I do love that look too, but this is different. And I'm enjoying it, and what it will allow me to think about, and even my art. How will this impact my feelings about art at the moment and my paintings and so forth? Okay, but what about our physical body? Because it's one thing about your mind and engaging your mind in certain ways and creative pursuits and taking yourself out, but it's also about how you move your body. I think we can move our bodies in softer ways that are more aligned with the flow state. I am a lifting girly. You'll know that if you've been on my channel. Powerlifting has been something that changed my whole body and changed my whole attitude towards the gym. But it's a very different type of movement, and you could even think about it as maybe hard, right? It is quite hardcore in some senses, but you can try different things. So I have been going to Pilates a lot, like every single week, multiple times a week for the last few months, and I love it. I love that I can work myself in terms of resistance training in a softer way, right? Like, even the pressure on my joints is less, and the flow and just the whole vibe is different. It's softer. The Pilates girls know, right? If you know, you know. But even things like yoga or even swimming, which swimming is quite intensive, but you can obviously control the pace that you move at. Exercise is crucial. It's crucial to our mental and physical health. And so if you're thinking about living a softer life outside of the corporate space, think about how the touch points in your life, or all of the things that you're doing, can be softer if that's what you're looking for, right? It's not about one big thing and like, I'm going to be softer because I'm going to change this or change that. It's about a series of things and a series of habits that you adopt that, when they come together, allow you to feel that more relaxed sense. That I think is what a lot of us are looking for when we say softer. It's not that we don't want to work, and I despise this idea that when somebody decides that they want something softer, it means because they're lazy and things like that. That's not the case, right? It's just that we operate differently, and especially I think as women, the ways that we work and the connections that we require are different. But I will save that for another video, because I do want to talk about that. And finally, about living a softer life is dressing up. And this, again, may seem quite trivial. I love wearing heels. I'm an extreme person. I'm either wearing gym clothes or I'm wearing heels, whether they're in boots, whether they're in like, I just love the look. I love feeling feminine like that. I love feeling cute and fancy and whatever it is. But even just doing that, or accessories, like these pink earrings, guys, like like, I love them now. But like just doing small things to your appearance that make you feel softer. And as silly as it may seem, like you can wear what you want. You can wear sweatpants too, and like, you know, a two-piece in that sense. It doesn't really matter. This isn't a, you know, you must wear this. But if you know there are things that when you put them on, you feel like, oh, I feel softer. I feel cuter. Wear them. Don't wait for things. Don't wait for events to wear them. Wear them now. Wear them to the shops. I'm going to wear these earrings to Westfields. Do those things. Enjoy life. Live the softer life that you want. You don't have to wait for permission. You don't have to wait for special events. Do it now. So now back to the giveaway. Now I have a $100 Amazon gift card for somebody out there who is interested in starting their creative pursuit, whether that be, I don't know, art. Like I got started with less, I think, than that. It didn't cost me that much to get my acrylic paints, some brushes, some canvases. Oh, but it might not be that. Maybe it's writing and you want to get some stuff around that. Or perhaps it's content creation. You have your phone and you'd like to get an external mic or a ring light. It doesn't really matter. It's up to you. But what I need you to do is drop me a comment. Let me know what it is you're interested in pursuing, so that I have a vibe of like, you know, what it is that you're interested in and moving forward with creatively, and just your Instagram handle, right? So just that I know where to contact you directly, because, you know, YouTube isn't great in terms of direct contact. But yeah, it's just a small thing, but you know, if it's going to help you get started and take the step, then I'm happy. So that's it. Living the soft life as a corporate girly. Like I said, it can be quite hard. It can be delicate to find the balance between moving forward in your career, and keeping up with all that energy while still maintaining the softness and the vibes that you want, that I know a lot of us do want, because boss babing is anywho, another, like I said, another conversation. But yes, I will see you guys in the next video.